Hey everyone, Sam here. Welcome to another episode of the Analytic Mind podcast. Today I'm going to talk about something that has really been on my mind a lot, and I've been talking about it in bits here and bits there, but I just wanted to get a lot of my thoughts out around how I think you can learn things fast right now, and likely faster than you've ever thought you could ever learn anything. And how you can acquire new skills at a faster rate than you ever thought possible. Um, I'm a true believer of this, a true believer. I even stated on our on Enterprise DNA's website now that there's never been a better time to learn more, do more, and add more value. Um, Most of that is being enabled by AI. Just the speed and the versatility around your and the customization options you can get around your learning is next level. And my idea is in this episode just to talk about a few of my ideas around how you can do it and how I'm doing it myself, because I am rapidly learning a whole lot of new skills that I'm enjoying learning about. It's been quite enlightening, really, like how fast you can acquire new skills these days. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, a bit of strategies around how you can do that, and maybe also talk about like how could you do this as a business, right? Like within a business. I think that will be a good thing to cover as well. There'll be a bit of a data and AI sort of angle to it, because that I think is that's where I'm using it the most. So I've got the most experience, but this could be put to anything, right? Like put to any skill that you want to acquire. Like I think there's various different ways that you can surround yourselves, particularly with AI, that can enhance it. Okay. One of the caveats I'll just put out there is that, like, I know that AI is not right, 100% right all the time. It just isn't. It just isn't. You got to accept that as like that is a reality. It's not right 100% of the time. There is no AI that just does everything, right? Like, there's many different AIs that are good at different things, like, because they're just models, right? They're just algorithms that are running calculations, right? There's some that are good at some things and some that are better at other things. But if you look across everything that we've got available to us right now, it's still like it's incredibly powerful, the base level of intelligence that we have access to and the speed at which we have access to it. That is the big game changer, right? Like, all of this information existed out there in the past. I mean, but you just had to Google it. And at the time, that felt very frictionless, but feels like but right now, like with the onset of this AI technology and how quickly you can access it, it feels like there's actually a lot of friction. And I think friction got built in over time because of the commercial activities of Google, etc. So there was more commercial downsides to the acquisition of knowledge and the acquisition of learning. But these days, you can surround yourselves with this immense intelligence, and it can be on call at any time. And the exciting thing is the way that that is going to evolve, and is evolving right now, and the way that you'll be able to access it in so many ways, and how quickly you'll be able to access it. Right, it feels quick now, but I think it's going to go next level. It will be on all of your devices. We might even have a lot of new devices that we didn't think of. We'll be able to talk to our car. We'll be able to talk to like whole raft of things. But I don't want to get into that too much. I just want to talk more about, like, what are the things you can do now, particularly as a data person, as someone working in data, to acquire new skills. One of the things that I'm doing a lot myself right now is I'm doing exactly this. I'm acquiring new skills around data and app development. So I've identified that this is a new era, right? And I want to get better at Python. I want to get better at SQL. I want to get better at coding, programming. I want to get better at a whole range of different things, right? And to do that historically was very, very difficult and time consuming, right? Because you really would have to understand a lot more about specific code, and like memorizing functions and how code works together used to be really, really important. These days, I feel like you can do a lot without having to have like a lot quickly, without having to have a lot of that base knowledge. You can fill in that base knowledge as you go. Like that is the hack, right? Is that you can do a lot of these, like learn a lot of like about coding and formulas um, and programming, etc. But you don't have to have like to know every function. You don't have to know every Python library. You can, in a lot of cases, get that information so quickly. It just is unnecessary, right? So what I do to learn things like really quick is I have literally surrounded myself with AI technology. So I think I have, in terms of like subscriptions to information based AIs, I think I have maybe 7 or 8 currently. Like I've got ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity. I've got Data Mentor, which is our own Enterprise DNA's own tool, which is really awesome for database work. I've also got this one called Monica, which it's sort of like an everything. It's kind of like a co-pilot. It sits in your browser, and one of the great things is it lets you. It summarizes YouTube videos for you fast. It summarizes GitHub repositories fast. So it sort of is very integrated into a lot of day-to-day activities. Also, it summarizes Google searches, I think, as well. So yeah, those are some. I think I've got a couple of others. I just can't think of them. But in terms of like on a daily basis, whether I'm at home or in work or on my iPad, these tabs are open almost like all the time. And if I need to quickly know something or do something, I'm diving in and utilizing them for what they're good for. In terms of my learning, actually, in like data specific things, I've actually been using Data Mentor like the most, like our own technology. I've been building it around my own activities, really, and working with our developers on that. So it's been really amazing for data work. I remember the other ones I have is I've got AI within this online programming application called Replit, which is very, very good. I also have this other programming thing that I've just downloaded recently called Cursor, which has AI all throughout it as well. And then I'm probably forgetting some other things. But anyway, AI is literally like one click away at all times. And that is the beginnings, I feel, of acquiring these new skills quickly. Because you can acquire, like everything about it, you can acquire new skills in different ways these days, right? You might have had to, learning has evolved a lot over time. And these days, I think you can, in short bursts from, say, video content you find, you can learn about something, and then you can very quickly move to the project phase, the implementation phase, to then implement or execute on the coding or the formulas that you need to learn about, right? And you can learn on the go. Like that is what I'm doing, right? Like for me to learn programming, the best thing that I've done is I've watched a few videos, gone through a few documents, like high level documents about how things work, and then I've done projects. I've worked on a project and I've figured it out as I've gone, right? That I feel is the way to do it. It might not be the best way for everyone per se, but that is how I think in this new era with AI is the best way to acquire new skills at scale. One of the like biggest things I think you need to think about is it's actually you need to stretch yourself in terms of like what you think you can achieve. 6 months, 12 months ago, I wouldn't have thought I could learn HTML or JavaScript or even put like a program together. But in the last like month or so, I put five different mini applications together. I've learned about all these different things. And I didn't even find it that hard. I didn't even find it that hard. And, it was a like really focused application for a short period of time on each of those different projects. And it made a huge difference, right? And so that's the other thing that I would like really encourage. First is just get subscriptions to everything. It in terms of the value that you get to the cost, it's like less than, for all of those things, is less than $100 a month for me. And what I get out of it is just outrageous in terms of value. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you really want to acquire a new skill, I think pencil in a really focused 2 to 4 hours, get a base layer learning from like a video or some document or some learning path that you get created from AI, and then build a project around that learning path. Like work through something for the rest, and then just learn things progressively as you go. That is, that is what I have been personally doing, and one of the things that I recommend you do. And while you're doing that, you can, use a variety of AIs on the same project, right? If you run out of credits in one, like I do in Claude all the time, go and use ChatGPT, or go and use Data Mentor, or go and create your own, or go and use Perplexity, for example. Like there's so many. Use Copilot, use Bing Chat. Like, I mean, it's sort of endless, the ones that you can hit these days, right? I'm not sure if Google even has a free one anymore. Maybe they do. Maybe Gemini is a free link as well. But that's the way to do it. There's no doubt in my mind. The other like big trend is that a lot of tools and technologies, from like Power BI to Excel, to a lot of these programming IDEs, to pretty much every app we use is going to continually be upgraded with AI integrations. I have no doubt about it. Like, it just makes the experience so much more productive. Think about like the time spent, particularly if you're in the data space or development space, how much time you used to spend in forums, how much time you used to spend in Google going to search for things. Well, to me, that's just being flipped. It is absolutely being flipped, and then will continue to be flipped, I think. If you're still there's the occasion you might go there because AI is not providing the answer you require, but soon that will I really find myself going on forums. I'm just constantly asking AI, tell it to me this way, tell it to me this way. Okay, that's not working. Can you find a better solution? There's still some friction there, but just think about like the friction to like going and looking at a forum and seeing an irrelevant answer and trying that, and then going back and forth that way. I mean, that's far more friction, right? So there's definitely pros and cons, but the pros far outweigh what they were prior, and far outweigh the cons to using AI, in my opinion. One of the other aspects that and reasons why I like it so much is because it's so customized to you, right? So like, being a learning platform, we've been a learning business for a long time. The biggest piece of feedback that we got for years and years and years was, but this piece of content doesn't relate to my situation. It doesn't relate to my formula. It doesn't relate to what I'm trying to achieve in my job. Well, that is being solved, I feel, with AI, because it can be hyper tailored to what you need it for. If you're having trouble understanding a specific function and you need it explained in a certain way to you around a certain example, you can do that, right? So the speed at which you can learn about things specifically for what you need it for, I think, has gone up multiple factors. And so I think that is also a reason why the acquisition of new skills across a wide variety of things is far more achievable. That is just like one of the reasons why. You can also customize in various different ways, right? Like, you can customize what interaction you have with an AI or a particular AI. It's like maybe you want multiple choice questions. Maybe you want it to be explained very, very simply. Maybe you want to see a visual of the logic that you're trying to understand. Maybe you're trying to change a formula from one language to another language. Like there's a lot of like custom things that and custom ways that you can interact with AI as a tool. So that is just so powerful for the ability to learn and master new things. When I think about this from a business context, I just think of the compounding effect of learning across a wide variety of different skills and different tasks. Like if someone in your organization historically could only create things in Excel, I feel like any person or anybody can, within the investment of time and effort, can upgrade their skills across Python, maybe even build some simple applications. Like so much of this is being democratized. There really is, in my view, like no such thing as no code anymore. There's no segment of work that is called no code because pretty much everything is becoming no code. Anyone who's a little bit of enterprising, wants to apply themselves to learn something new, has the ability to do that and do it at speed, right? And so that opens up a lot of opportunities for the individual, but also for the business that encourages this. And so it's that compounding effect that I see happening. Compounding effect in terms of productivity and new skill acquisition, which I think is really exciting if the business leadership is willing to embrace it. Also, like one of the things that I do, which is probably quite unique at this point, but might not be very, very soon, I feel, is I actually talk to AIs quite a lot. I use the ChatGPT app, which is okay. I also very recently created this voice assistant that I use semi regularly to just have general, very quick chats about something specific that I need clarification on. The way I've set it up is it feels almost real time. Like the real time AI communication is already here. It just isn't prevalent yet, but it is actually very handy if you're trying to get some clarification on something, to have a very quick conversation with an AI who can explain it to you in a certain way. So that is something that I've just started doing, and I think also like really enhances this skill acquisition as well. And one of the things I've decided is that we're gonna build something like this within Enterprise DNA's platform, because I think it's incredibly valuable. We might even put it in Data Mentor, which is our AI first technology, but just the ability to talk to, say, a data visualization, like an AI trained on data visualization, an AI focused on data modeling, an AI focused on Python, like the ability to dive into a different avatar, if you like, or an assistant who's very good at certain communication styles or communicates answers in a particular way, I think will really enhance the learning experience and scale it as well. So that's definitely something that I want to get into. I want to get into more with Enterprise DNA. And we will be doing it. We will be doing it just because I see value. I see value in myself. So just a no brainer. The other thing I want to touch upon is how I'm using Data Mentor. So hopefully those who know Enterprise DNA well will know that Data Mentor has been out for most of this year actually, and it's gone through so many enhancements. It's hard to list them all, but one of the best things about it is the speed at which I can build threads of information about a particular code snippet or about a particular formula. So as an example, I've been really getting into GitHub, and I've been really getting into programming simple applications, and just to test, just to learn new things and to test my abilities. And code is pretty foreign to me, like a particularly programming code, right? And how it all fits together. But I've been asking Data Mentor hundreds of questions every day about best practices around coding, what's the difference between front end and back end, getting details on the logic flow within JavaScript code, within Python code, within HTML code, understanding what CSS is. And I've just been copying and pasting, and building threads of information about how all of these things work, and then how applications work with all of these things within it. And it's been incredibly enlightening, right? Incredibly enlightening. And that's what you can do to learn and program without having to actually know how to write any of the code out. In most cases, understanding the logic and how code is operating is enough. Understanding the logic and how a formula is operating is usually enough to help you achieve what you want to achieve. Just because you can write something out from scratch or know every function or formula is not, these days, does not matter around skill execution, like executing on something. And so that is what my biggest encouragement is use these tools, and Data Mentor can be one of them, but use them to really understand the logic behind things, particularly if it's code-based or formula-based, because that is the key, right? And that logic layered one on top of the other is how you then form the architecture in your mind of a solution, whether it's a analytics solution, a data science solution, or a programming solution, like an app solution, right? Understanding the logic of this file versus this code versus that code. Understanding how all of those fits together is how you then architect the solution. And architecting the overall solution is going to, without a doubt, become our main value add that we can bring to. It always has been, but it's just going to become more prevalent. It's going to be more important than the actual grunt work of coding and building, right? The architecting of quality solutions is where the real value add is, and certainly will be in the future. Okay, I think those are the main things that I wanted to cover. In summary, if I was to just like summarize this, I've just got my book here. Just immerse yourself in AI. Immerse yourself in if you're trying to learn data, Power BI, trying to learn data analytics, trying to learn data science, trying to learn like eventually programming. Even programming today, we can facilitate through Data Mentor. But if you want to learn any of these, just immerse yourself in our platform. But if you want to learn anything, just immerse yourself in AI, whether it's one of the main providers or whether it's one of the wrappers, they call them, that are inside platforms you're already using. I think it already is and will enhance your skill acquisition like crazy. So get subscriptions to all of the AIs you can get your hands on. That is my big recommendation. If you've got even if you've got kids, which I've got 4, as soon as it's relevant to them, some of them are younger, but as soon as it's relevant, I'm going to get them access to an AI. It is going to be a far better teacher and a far faster way to learn new things than it is to sit down at a desk all day. Like, there's no doubt in my mind about that. I mean, I think there's probably positives of both, but in terms of just learning new skills and learning new things at speed, it's going to be, even for children, it's going to be done, mostly with AI's assistance. There's really no doubt in my mind about that. Really try and learn about focused learning. Like, if you can really focus for 2 to 4 hours on something very specific, and then get the support, like the augmentation of your project, execution with AI, that is what is really going to make a big difference. Customization. So customizing how the feedback you're getting, how you're learning something, getting it customized to your specific need. That is how you can again really speed things up. Cool. Okay. I think that's really all of the major ones I wanted to talk about. So I got through my key points there. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm interested to hear what you think. One, we're as a enterprise DNA as a platform is evolving very, very fast. If you haven't used any of our AI tech, I highly recommend it. We've put a bucket load of investment into it, and there's more coming, a lot more coming. The ability to learn and scale your learning has never been better. And so we personally, we have to facilitate that. We want to facilitate that, and that's why there's big investment in this particular area for us. And it's making a difference. I mean, I can see it. I can see it in the numbers and the engagement, etc. So highly recommend trialing that out if you haven't already. And yeah, interested to get your thoughts around it as well. But I'm likely going to be talking about this for a while and showcasing this because my own workflow has been completely transformed by how I operate and how I communicate with the AIs that I've surrounded myself with. So I think there's going to be a lot more for me to share and showcase in the near future. If you haven't seen already, I'm making all of the applications that I build to a certain standard available within Enterprise DNA's platform as well. So within eDNA Learn, we've got this new concept that we're rolling out called eDNA Labs. And initially, it's just going to be apps that I build because I'm leading the charge on this. But eventually, we're gonna form partnerships with those in our community who want to build these applications and use AI in most cases to build them. So yeah, we're facilitating this new wave of development and application building as well, which I'm really keen to showcase as much as I can. Okay, thanks all. I'm going to round off there. Good discussion, and yeah, hopefully you are as excited as I usually am about the new skills and the new endeavors that that you can jump on board as well. Okay, take care and look forward to speaking to you again soon.